Ram trucks, built to serve.
Live from New York, it's the show that may make a huge comeback. It's first things
Oh, no,
first.
they're get out the brooms, Astros. We're getting swept out of Kansas City.
We're not talking about the Astros.
No, we're talking about the Royals. You're
Today,
right, buddy.
Denver comes through on a must-win. Wise people say no one is beating Denver in a 7-game series. You guys finally agree with me. Meanwhile, what do the Bills need to do in the draft to ensure Josh Allen's success? Coach Mangini joins us in a few minutes to discuss his favorite term, force multipliers. And finally, well, it's the most motivational segment in all of sports. It's the Bud List with a special heel turn, which means someone who used to be good turns bad.
Oh. Is it Ryan and Brian?
Wow.
It is.
I'm afraid of this week's Budless intro.
Why?
I have no idea.
I didn't have a lot of
It
time.
just sounds like
had to
I'm
freestyle.
going to
I didn't know that. I just guessed.
Sounds like my feelings are going to
No,
get
not yours. Not yours at all.
Wow.
But we start with some interesting news from the world of Barbary. Tom Brady comeback? Question mark? Maybe. Here Tom Brady is on the Deep Cut podcast with Vic Blends talking about a potential part-time Flacco-esque comeback. Take a listen.
Let's say one day there's a situation, right? Maybe it's the 49ers, maybe, heading to the playoffs. Offense is great.
Patriots,
Somebody-
Raiders,
look.
could be, you never know.
God forbid somebody goes down. Would you pick up that phone?
I'm not opposed to it. If they would, I don't know if they're going to let me if I become an owner in the NFL team, but I don't know if, I don't know. I'm always going to be in good shape, always be able to throw the ball. So to come in for a little bit, like MJ coming back, I don't know if they let me, but I wouldn't be opposed to it.
What?
Wow.
MJ played 82.
Yeah, the MJ
There's
came
only
back from
17
home.
games, so that's impossible. He come back for a few years. All right, Nick, your immediate reaction. You spotted this story and were giddy.
It's a crazy story. First of all, Tom, set your sights a little higher. I mean, the MJ Wizards comeback. Come on, you can do better. He can do better. I mean, he can
Maybe
do better.
He can be the 10th
I mean, well, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
come
I
back
don't
and be
think,
the
I don't
10th
think
seed.
that he wants to come back to be, under 500. I find this fascinating. I wonder how much of this is because of Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wonder, it's like, hold on a second. I can do that.
Yep.
I wonder how much of this is because he throws out their Patriots, which I find interesting because to me I would dismiss the Raiders out of hand, even though he mentions them, because the Raiders are not going to be good. I'm not saying that as a Chiefs fan. I'm saying that because they are in the process of trying to rebuild.
You don't think they have more than the Patriots?
Well, no. So that's what I kind of interrupted myself. Let me explain it. I think there is either the play quarterback for a contender that loses their quarterback path, or final run with the team I played with forever, New England.
But the Wizards thing makes the MJ Wizards part ownership thing kind of has some parallels.
And Jordan had to give up his ownership, of course.
Yeah, but I don't think Tom's stuff is totally locked in yet.
Yeah, but I just also don't think that there's a reason, and we can, poke you guys. I'm not trying to do Jordan LeBron stuff, but in the Jordan stuff, we just kind of ignore the Wizards years. Like when I bring them up, it's told it's unfair. It's because it's kind of like a weird blemish. I don't think that's what. I know he mentioned the Raiders, and maybe he's more optimistic about the Raiders than I am. But I'll give you a team that if we were to have this thought exercise, hey guys, I'm telling you, Tom Brady plays at least one game for a football team this year. List them 1 through 32 from most to least likely. You know what team is sneaky high on the list of could be in contention, could have a playoff caliber roster that is in absolute win now mode with a real potential of needing multiple quarterbacks? The New York Jets. And I know that makes you sick. I know that makes you sick. Well, but I'm just asking you, if Rodgers were to go down in November Is that
That's
not
my
the
first call? Absolutely.
It already happened, and they
Well,
don't
no.
do that.
Well,
they
no,
didn't
They
even
didn't
think about
he
that.
would come back.
Well, he wouldn't.
Now he's
Not
saying
to the Jets.
He looks like he's saying you don't think he go to the Jets just because they're in the division.
No,
that the Patriots
he
were in?
wa-
Just because they're the Jets. He's not ending his career with the Jets.
Okay, well,
We can move
Favre,
on
Aaron Rodgers are
to
doing
Joker
it?
now if you want to. We're not talking about Brady going to the Jets.
You're gonna get mad.
My God.
And Bruce, tell me if
One
you,
week.
and then I'll shut up. Tell me if you agree here. Last year, Rodgers goes down minutes in. Even if they knew, Brady would do it, they were not going to do anything like that to Aaron and the relationship with Aaron.
Fair.
If Aaron gets hurt this year, I don't think the Jets are that worried about their relationship with Aaron moving forward. It's you know what I mean? Unfortunately, it would mean it didn't work out. But if they were, and I don't think they're going to be that good, but you think they could be good if they look like a contention adjacent, and he goes down. So they're on the list. You know, the Rams, just because they have an old quarterback who's dealt with injuries.
So you're talking about if a guy gets
If a
injured.
guy gets injured, exactly.
Because, see, I'm thinking not just if a guy gets injured. I'm thinking, he mentioned Michael Jordan. You said it. Jordan came back for seasons. He didn't come back at the end of the year, let's try to make a playoff run.
Well, he did.
Like Flacco did.
Sure.
That was baseball, but you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, where could he go for a whole season? Because he looks like he wants to play. Why else do you say that? Tom Brady is media savvy. He understands what something like this, unless he was thinking, hey, it's this teenager or the young kid, nobody will see it.
He knows people are going to see it.
Okay, so if you know people are going to see it,
Several haircuts.
right, then you put that out there, you know what's coming next, you know everybody's going to be discussing. I think this, Nick, I think that athletes even Tom Brady, have been shackled to a degree by conventional wisdom historically. So my point is this. Brady obviously burst through a lot of conventional wisdom by playing until he's 45. But even he was thinking, 45. I can't keep playing. Even though he threw for 4,700 yards.
They were under 500.
Yeah,
It was a
he
rough
wasn't great, but
season.
his numbers were good. 25 touchdowns,
and the year
9
before,
picks.
he
Year
almost
before,
won
was-
MVP.
Right, I thought he should have won MVP that year. So I think he just thought, 45. I said at one point I want to play till 45. I think maybe LeBron, who's been inspired by Brady, obviously, but maybe LeBron's inspiring Brady a little bit because LeBron's doing it in a sport where your athleticism at a position at least, is more,
of course.
you need it more than you do at quarterback in the NFL. So now is Brady saying, there's no limits. I'm just going to play until I'm not good anymore. And he's still good. So that's why I think the Raiders if you're talking about coming back for a season, I think the Raiders make sense. How about, and this would take some, it might hurt somebody's feelings, Miami?
Well, hold on.
Miami?
If you're so you opened that door, I'm going to
got
burst through
receivers,
it.
you got running backs.
If we're going to talk about
got
all the
great
teams,
coach.
hold on. If we're going to talk about all the teams who showed interest in Tom Brady before, but have quarterbacks who seemingly should have very secure jobs, that Purdy seat gets just as warm as Tua's. If we're being fair,
I
Shanahan
think that's
told him,
fair.
you're the starter unless we can get Tom.
I think that's fair. Here's my only issue with that. Because it is fair. But
I try to be fair.
is Shanahan thinking Purdy is his guy
Long
for the
term.
next 10 years?
That's fair.
If you are, you don't want to do this. But and will he be better than Purdy? We know he'll be better than a ton of quarterbacks. Would he be better than Purdy next year?
Well, a little bit of it is how good does the team need to be when your quarterback goes down and how deep into the season? Like, do you think if the Browns called Brady exactly when they called Flacco, he would have gone? I don't.
I don't either.
I don't at that point.
I don't either. But if a team just like the Browns this coming year calls Brady at the exact time the Browns would have, would he?
Defense.
Now that there's like proof of concept with Flacco, you know what I mean? Does that change things? Like, to me, I think there is an element of that, because the thing is that you're trying to thread a needle here, obviously, but I think the Flacco thing probably. I bet Brady's not the only one. I bet there was, I don't know what he's doing, but I bet Phillip Rivers watched that and was like, come on. I've been better than Joe Flacco every year of my life. Like, what what are we talking? I bet privately, Tony Romo said to Jim Nantz, I can do this. You gotta be kidding me. You know what I mean? I think that, and if you're Tom, one of the things I respect about Brady immensely is I like my legendary athletes to love it so much.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's become very cool, or I shouldn't say cool, in vogue to, don't be obsessed with your career and be well balanced. And that is good advice for happiness.
It's good
I
life
suppose.
advice.
It's good
Yes.
life advice.
Bad goat advice.
That's right. No, that is correct.
Bad goat
it's
advice.
bad goat advice. Like I saw during the Lakers-Warriors game when that end of third quarter thing was happening, when the Warriors were blowing the
Yes,
game open.
yes.
Post game, there was a shot of LeBron sitting on the bench. He looked inconsolable. And I love that. I'm like, this dude is almost 40. He's in year 21,
Right.
and it is burning him. And I bet Brady, there's a level of when he's watching football, and you've been Wild's sharp on this, in that I don't want to say he's been dropping a lot of Easter eggs, but when he goes out and says publicly, it's not like this is being reported. He's saying it in front of cameras, the quality of play. Quarterbacking needs to be better.
Right.
All these things are, him talking about the game he loves, and I think missing it. I think
run
that's more
game,
than
some
fair.
receivers, and a defense. Why can't he do it?
The receivers part, we still need. But he did mention.
Patriots. That's why
he
I
mentioned
don't
the
think
Patriots.
the.
It's not like, wow, if you're the Patriots fan, throwing out Tom
I
Brady.
think the Patriots unless, and you and I kind of talked about this before, if they trade the third pick for a bunch of draft
that's
picks,
what
and
they
then you
would
go
do.
get some
Why do we?
receivers. The defense is going to be good. Go
we
get
don't
some
need to
receivers.
trade the third pick. There's a receiver.
Oh, yeah,
at
that's
3.
true too.
Oh,
That's true. Draft
Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So what? So as a
and also stick it to the Colts. Like Marvin Harrison, you gotta be kidding me.
So
No,
as
that's
a Pats
fair.
fan, your heart started palpitating a little
I
bit.
mean, a
hearing
little
this?
bit. He said it. And there's several layers of the onion. Belichick is gone.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
The idea of Tom Brady coming back, it's something. And I don't know. I'm trying to think of a parallel. We're like, you know what? One last dance. One last dance. I didn't leave the right way. I'm coming back for one final.
Well,
half
he brought
season.
up Jordan, and that last year in Chicago, we knew they were likely to get rid of Phil Jackson after that. And it was like this is
Iverson
it.
Sixers a little bit. That's I'm trying.
No, but
I'm trying
he's
to,
thinking
but that didn't.
I
that
know,
didn't
but I'm
really
trying
go
to
well.
find let's